Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss The Hangover Part 3. I couldn't get my fingers up. My fingers hurt. Eczema. Part 3. So this came out 2013. So '09 was the first, Part 2 is the second, Part 3 is the third. The actors didn't really want to do this film. Zach Galifianakis was the only one who really wanted to do this. Everybody else needed convincing. So Bradley Cooper was the hardest to convince, but they all agreed upon reprising the roles so long as this was the last film. Now, the first and second films made just shy of $1 billion by themselves. So that's obviously why, the production companies wanted to make a third, because they knew it would make money. And it did. It was, in my opinion, better than the second film. The second film I didn't like because it was the same plot as the first. This was different because this was a heist film and this was a kidnapping film. And then a mid-credit scene, you have the third Hangover, technically, if we're following plot points. I liked how Melissa McCarthy is a new character in this, Cassandra, who becomes Alan's love interest. After they meet her in Las Vegas, she runs a pawn shop. So then the ending of this film is Alan's wedding, and the post-credit scene is the hangover from Alan's wedding, because Leslie, Ken Jeong's character, gave them a cake. So why is this a heist movie? Why is this a kidnapping film? So Alan is off his meds, he's causing chaos, and they stage an intervention. And so they get thrown into the world again with the drug dealer Doug from back in the first film, who mixed up the roofies and the ecstasy, and he was even said on the side of the street, oh, Marshall's going to be mad about this, Marshall being the drug king. So the character of Marshall is played by John Goodman, who does a great job as a villain. And so it's the battling between Chow and Marshall, because Chow stole millions of dollars in gold bars from Marshall, and so it's a matter of where's the rest of the money, what happened with the rest. So they kind of, the gang then, the wolf pack as they are, go with Chow to Mexico to one of his old houses to break in there and get the gold bars. But it turns out it was actually Marshall's actual house, one of his actual houses where his stash is. So it's still a matter of, if there's 21 million in gold bars that were separated, 21 and 21, so 42 total, what happened to the original 21 that Chow originally stole? Apparently he blew it all in Bangkok. That's why he had to find new enterprises in Bangkok, and then met up with the Wolfpack again and got arrested and then broke out of prison. So that was a neat jailbreak scene. So it's just a matter of now getting Chow and getting the money, getting the gold bars to Marshall. That way Marshall can release Doug, because Doug is now being held hostage, because it's like the trade-off. No gold bars, no Doug. So they have to go back to Las Vegas, back to Caesar's Palace, because that's where Chow's now held up at a penthouse. And all chaos breaks loose, of course. It's a great chaos kind of trilogy, as they all are. And then it's getting the gold back, it's getting Chow, it's giving Chow a chance, all these different things, right? Who's the bad guy? Who's the successor? Will Alan learn to accept the responsibility? Will he get rid of the bad influences in his life, aka Leslie Chow, because they're actual friends, compared to his Wolfpack friends who are trying to do what's best for him? So it's a very interesting growing up kind of film, where Alan makes a decision at the end. He goes on a date with Cassie, Melissa McCarthy's character, who's great. And then, their wedding at the end, which is very quickly glossed over, which I like, because it's a closing. So we have Jade and Tyler back when we're in Vegas. At the very end of the film, we have the different flashes of the wolf pack in slow motion, walking through different hallways, through the streets of Bangkok, through the hallway to Alan's wedding, stuff like that. So it's showing that this is the end. And I appreciate that it's an actual ending kind of a thing. I don't mind the extreme cliffhanger at the mid-credit scene of what happens, with that hangover. What was in the Leslie Chow's cake? Why did they do all these chaotic things? What sparked all the chaotic things, etc.? That's okay. That's a perfectly fine cliffhanger, because it leaves in that what happens next, but it's in a funny way. The appropriate ending of the trilogy is the flashing scenes of all of them walking in different hallways and different streets, which I really liked how that was done. It's very rare to end something in a poetic kind of manner, but in a not altruistic, what's the word I'm thinking of? Appropriate, in an appropriate type of way. And this was done very well. This was done very appropriately. I thought it was a very nice conclusion. I liked it way more than the second film. And that's it. Thus concludes our Hangover trilogy. This did not have singing in it, now that I think about it. The first two had singing in it. This one didn't have singing in it. Unless I'm forgetting a song being sung. No, Stu normally sings. Ed Helms' character normally sings in these, but I don't remember him singing in this third film. Good film. Good ending, good wrap up. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.